Just as our bodies can suffer from too much junk food, our creativity can be dulled by things that seem like a harmless sweet snack. Welcome to the BDI Create Today podcast. This is a podcast where we uncover and discover the who, what, where, when, why, and how you can be creative or have more creativity. And together we'll explore the extraordinary impact creativity can have in your life, in heart, mind, body, and soul. And if we haven't met yet, I'm Beth Buffington, a licensed artist, digital illustration instructor, and a creative coach living just outside of the Windy City, Chicago. But mostly, I'm someone who is curious about how creativity can weave its way into nearly everything in our lives. Each week, we are going to look at one or more of the sparkly facets that make up the ever-changing kaleidoscope that is creativity. Hello, my creative friends. This next week, I'm getting ready to visit family in Nebraska, and we are going to drive. Now, it's a 10-hour drive from Chicagoland to the small towns of Bladen and Blue Hill, where my Nebraska family lives. Now, I don't remember a time where driving to Nebraska was not part of my life. I've always looked forward to our visits, and all my years of growing up, my family lived out of state. We lived in Kansas or Illinois, so getting together with my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, and all my cousins, it involved some travel. So we always piled all our things into the car for the journey because, well, there really wasn't a close airport that made traveling easier to get there than just getting in the car and driving. And truth be told, like a pup riding with the windows down, oh my goodness, I love a car ride. I mean, it's the best excuse for uninterrupted reading and napping and snacking. Snacking is a big part of getting ready for a successful car journey. Anyway, that's my opinion. Now, as a kid who was just a passenger, who wanted to get to grandma's as soon as possible, who was impatient and asking, are we there yet? Even before we left our city limits, snacking was serious, and it was a vital component to any car ride that was over 30 minutes long. And as a kid, my favorite car snacks had nothing to do with nutrition or staying alert and focused in the car. My main concern when I was a kid was, is the snack sweet? Is it crunchy? And could I nibble on whatever it was whenever I wanted it for a good amount of time? Because it gave me something to do while sitting in the car for hours. And that was important. Now, as an adult who, as the driver, needs to avoid getting drowsy, or as the co-pilot who is making sure that the driver is awake and alert, I know that snacks are the fuel to keep the driver and the co-pilot busy with munching so that there is no time to get drowsy. But if I let myself just eat stupidly in the car, just any old thing going into the mouth, I know at this wise age that I will pay for it later by feeling bloated or sluggish. And some of those things can make you sleepy too. So these days I'm hyper aware of what I toss into the proverbial pie hole so that I can stay awake and alert during my car ride. But still, I want to nibble on something that I want to eat that will be enjoyable, right? So today, my friend, because I want to talk to you about creativity and I have travel snacks on my mind, we're going to combine those two things together and we're going to explore a metaphor, surprise, about snacks and your creativity. So welcome back, my friend, to another episode of BDI Create Today, where we explore and celebrate the many ways that creativity can enhance your life. And today we're chatting about creative snacking. Just like physical snacks, creative snacks can keep our energy levels up and our minds alert and focused And creative snacks can keep our imagination fueled and our spirits high. We're going to look at how to snack healthy as a creative, and we're going to talk about some not so healthy snacks that you might think of as possibly being creatively healthy, but will actually make you feel weighed down like an overload of processed food and added sugars. If you can learn how to snack creatively, you'll realize all the benefits snacking provides. And this will make you creatively happier and healthier in heart, mind, body, and soul. And that's the goal, right? Yes. So feeling full with satisfaction in your life that is coupled with the zesty energy and curiosity about what you will create today, this can be achieved by knowing how to snack. So let's get started. The definition of snack, according to the online Merriam-Webster dictionary, is a portion of food or a light meal. So these are just small nibbles. So to make something small really make a big impact, you need to concentrate on making it delicious and memorable. So first up, let's talk about how you can have artistic tapas. Now we have an amazing restaurant close to my house. It's called Maison Cibica, and they serve Spanish tapas. Now tapas means small plates. So when you eat at Maison Cibica, you're encouraged to order all these tiny plates. They have an incredibly big menu that has a selection of just amazing different varieties of these tiny plates. And you're encouraged to share them with your lunch or dinner companions. And then you're not overwhelmed by one giant serving of a single entree. Instead, you have fun trying many different tastes. And quite often you get experimental and try something new because you only get a small plate of it. So you're more enticed to try something that you wouldn't normally get because you wouldn't want an entire huge dinner plate full of something that you found out you didn't like. So when you're doing tapas, you think, what the heck? Let's give it a try. So it's a fun way to sample a lot of delicious food. Tapas, give it a try sometime. Now imagine your creative life as a table full of tapas. Imagine a plethora of small plates that you can experience a wide variety of delicious creativity, each representing a different creative endeavor. By sampling a little of this and a little of that, say creating a doodle and writing a poem or making up a melody, you keep your creative palette excited and fresh. And these little bites can combine together to create a fulfilling and diverse artistic interest in your life. And this is going to help you determine what your true creative passion might be and help you find your creative voice. The beauty of artistic tapas is that you don't need hours to indulge. Even a few minutes spent on a single little project can ignite your imagination and inspire you to tackle larger creative challenges. Now, let's talk a little bit about nutritional creative snacks. And just as our bodies need a balanced diet to thrive and feel good and have energies, our minds need a creative variety to stay sharp and inspired. So snacking creatively means feeding your imagination with a mix of different activities. You're reading a good book, you're drawing, you're brainstorming new ideas, you are taking walks, you're going to the theater, you're going to concerts, you're listening to new musicians, you're just experimenting with a lot of things that is going to balance your creative health. So just like having tapas, which is concentrating on small plates, having a balanced Nutritional creative life means that you're not going to always just do one kind of creativity, but you're going to keep that experimentation going so that you can stay flexible and healthy. And you never know when you're going to find a new passion that really creates a spark and a flame in your life that will make you happier in heart, mind, body, and soul. So the mental and physical benefits of creatively snacking in a healthy way, well, they are profound. Letting your imagination loose by taking time for these creative activities, it's going to reduce stress, it's going to improve mood, enhance problem-solving skills, and even boost your immune system. It's like giving your brain a workout while you're also nurturing your soul. So how can we incorporate these concepts of creative tapas and nutritional creativity into a busy life? Because we can always listen to these things on a podcast or see them written down on paper, but actually incorporating things into your life, sometimes you need a little boost, right? So as you know, I love a good metaphor and I love a good list. Here's a list of 4 ways that you can incorporate this idea of creative tapas and nutritionally being creative with your snacks. Now, number 1 is sketch while you're waiting. This is such a great idea. Keep a small notebook with you and doodle while waiting in line. Give yourself time to do something creative, even if it's as small as drawing flowers while you're standing in line at the grocery store. Number 2, quick creative breaks. So if you're doing something at your computer that is really intense, or you are busy doing a house chore that you find no creativity in, take some break to find something creative to do. Write a haiku, take some photos of flowers outdoors, or brainstorm ideas that are going to help you finish a creative project or start a new craft. But take a break and let your imagination, just let it loose. The third thing, use daily prompts to spark some quick creative exercises. So write a paragraph, draw something that inspires you, or compose a short melody. And I want you to stay tuned to what's going to be happening here in the Create.today community just in a few weeks, because we are going to be talking about how you can make some daily prompts that will carry you through the rest of the year. So stay tuned for that. The 4th thing in our list are creative rituals. When you have a good habit, like flossing your teeth, those are things that you need to do. And because you've made it a habit or a ritual as you get ready to go to bed or as you get ready to go out into your day, you don't forget to do it. And so setting a creative ritual and practicing it enough that it becomes something that you just do without having to either give yourself permission to do or forcing yourself to do it, that's important. So you're going to incorporate a short creative activity into your morning or your evening routine that will just become a habit. Something simple, something that you will look forward to doing. It is going to set a positive tone to start your day or to end your day. Now let's take a quick break and listen to a word from our sponsor. And my friend, that would be me. Are you interested in exploring your creativity with Procreate on your iPad? Get my free Kickstart video. It's going to give you a beautiful tour of how to use Procreate to create your own art. You'll get information about brush libraries, layer and layer options, explanations of the tool icons, and so much more. Just go to www.bdi-create.today/Kickstart to get my free Procreate Kickstart video. Now, snacking can also be a great way to tackle large projects. So let's say you have a very large project that you need to do and you are really kind of dreading getting started. Maybe this is a project for a client that has a really big deadline, and that is causing you to get a little overwhelmed. You're faced with brainstorming ideas, creating concepts, creating the actual project, doing the art, making revisions, and then getting that final art ready on time for a very discerning client. This can create some stress. And then this project, it might be for a client, or it could be like preparing something that you're going to put together for a gift, like knitting a sweater for someone for a birthday or a holiday. And you want to finish this before that certain holiday. So you need to figure out what you're going to do, and then you need to get all the supplies, and you need to find the patterns and figure out how to construct it. Then you need to find time to do the project and finish up all the last minute pieces, and then clean up everything when the project or projects are done. And then finding the time to get this project completed, you suddenly feel like, oh, maybe I can't do it. And that creates some stress, even though you really want to make this sweater and you think you could do it. But when you think about all the project as one big giant thing, it's overwhelming. So I want you to think of this project as tiny snacks. This is going to help you not get overwhelmed. This is one of my favorite strategies for tackling a big project, and that is just breaking it down into those snackable bites. So if you try to do that whole project in just one big sitting, that would be like sitting down to eat an entire cake. Now, you don't need to have an entire cake, and actually the best way to have a cake and eat it is to have a slice a day. That is one slice that you can easily eat and digest. It's not going to make you feel overfilled or overwhelmed. And then you have more cake to have the next day. It's something for you to look forward to and something that you can easily accomplish. This way, my friend, you can have your cake and eat it too. So trying to complete a huge project all at once is not always sensible, but dividing it into those small, manageable, snackable tasks, and then let your brain think, hey, you only need to complete this small snack today. The process will become more fun and less stressful. There's another way that really is helpful for you as you're getting a project done. I love to take a look at a project and think, okay, today is the 1st of the month, and this project needs to be done by the 30th. So I have 30 days to finish this project. How am I going to break it down into small, snackable tasks so that I can easily work on this project from day 1 to day 30 and have the same sort of focus on each day without feeling overwhelmed? Because if you start procrastinating, then you have less time to do a good job. If you take a look at the time you have from today to when it's due, and you break that down into those snackable tasks, you'll be able to know that you're not only on target to reach your deadline, but you're not going to be overwhelmed or surprised later on down the road. So if you put that onto a calendar, you can make sure that you have that schedule set into a snackable projects within that big project so that you can reach your deadline without overwhelm. Let's also talk just a little bit about the opposite side of snacking, because there's healthy snacks and then there's junk food, right? So let's talk a little bit about creative junk food versus creative superfoods. So we all know what junk food is, and we all have that certain junk food weakness that just makes us lose our minds with any self-control that we have, right? And oh my goodness, if I even have one kettle cooked potato chip, I cannot stop. I love kettle cooked potato chips. So just as our bodies can suffer from too much junk food, because I know if I overindulge in potato chips, I do feel just horrible later. So just as our bodies can suffer from too much junk food, our creativity can be dulled by things that seem like a harmless sweet snack. So imagine if you thought to yourself, I'll just have one cookie with coffee this afternoon to wake me up. That doesn't seem like a bad thing. It's just one cookie. But then, you have that one cookie and you think, oh, it was kind of small. Maybe I'll have two or, oof, maybe three. I mean, what's one more? Just today. That starts a daily habit that suddenly turns into, oh, maybe three cookies every afternoon. And then, my friend, do the math. That ends up being 120 cookies every month. Yikes. In comparison, think about the time you might spend looking at Instagram. You think, I just want to find out what a few of my other creative friends are doing. And your quick minute turns into 15 minutes several times a day. That turns into 1 to 2 hours a day. And my friend, that becomes 30 to 60 hours a month scrolling on Instagram. While this seems like just a quick daily snack, too much time on mindless junk food activities like binge watching TV or endlessly scrolling on our phones, that adds up. Have you ever felt oddly drained after a snack of mindless scrolling or after binge watching something on Netflix? These junk food activities can drain our energy and it stifles our creativity. Instead, we need to ramp up our snack intake on creative superfoods, activities that nourish our imagination and spark our inspiration. Maybe swap out a TV show for a fascinating book. Replace social media scrolling with quick doodling instead. A quick doodle session could lead into an intense sketching session that gives you something that you really adore. Or exchange a mindless video game for a few minutes of journaling. These healthier choices can keep your creative energy high and your mind sharp. Because if you were spending 60 hours a month on Instagram or Netflix or video games, what if you broke that down and did 30 hours of creativity and 30 hours of whatever that super junk food is? Imagine how your creativity will rocket. That's a really good thing to think about. Take a good look at what you might think of as creative snacking, but it might just be creative junk food, and replace those with activities that are going to energize and inspire you, such as taking a nature walk, playing an instrument, or doing a new craft. Do you need to think about how you could detox your creative routine? Here's a few ways to create a healthier creative routine. Number one, think about mindful scheduling. If you know that your scrolling and your television watching or your video games are just a little bit out of control, take a look at scheduling time for doing that, but scheduling time for creative snacking as well. Just as you would for setting up a dentist appointment or setting up exercise or taking time to walk the dog, make time for yourself for some creative snacking that is a superfood, not a junk food. Number two, think about your environment. Find a space and then create a space that encourages your creativity. So have a space, a room, a corner that you love to be in. So that will be easier for you to want to go to that place to spend time doing something that you really enjoy. So do you need to declutter an existing area or space? Or maybe you need to add a little something inspiring in the decor, such as candles or artwork or rugs or pillows or encouraging quotes. And then be certain that you have the tools that you need and the supplies that you need so that when you sit down to actually do this scheduled time, you're ready to go. That you don't go, oh, I don't have a pencil. I don't have, my markers are all dried out. Whatever might slow you down, just make sure that you get that set up so that when you are ready to create. And number three, digital detox. This is taking breaks from digital devices. You don't have to start with an entirely dry digital day. You could just do a tech-free hour or Maybe build up to then just a tech-free day each week. And you'll be surprised how much freedom this is going to bring into your creative day or just that creative time. Now, we've talked about being a healthy creative a lot, but it is always worth repeating. Being a healthy creative is as important as good nutrition, as good sleep and exercise. And snacking can help you be healthier and happier. When you snack creatively and maintain a balanced creative diet, you will keep your imagination vibrant and your spirits will be uplifted. How are you preparing your creative snacks so that you can stay alert and focused as you travel to your creative destination? One way to learn more about creating these healthy creative snacks is becoming part of the Create.today community. This vibrant community of curious creatives provides you with a variety of snacking recipes through workshops, tutorials, online courses, monthly memberships, and one-to-one coaching. The Create.today community is a wonderful place to meet new friends, become happier and more confident as a creative, and reach lifetime dreams you have about your creative goals. So remember to share this podcast with anyone who needs to strengthen their creativity. And as we know, everyone is creative. So basically, share this creative conversation with your friends and your family. Imagine how wonderful our world would be if everyone was snacking creatively as they journeyed to their creative destinations. I'll be wondering about how you are creatively snacking as I drive to Nebraska. So no matter how you choose to snack, remember to stay creative, my friend. And if you found value in today's creative chat and you want to continue nurturing your creative journey, I personally invite you to join the Create.today community. Inside this beautiful community, you can explore free tutorials, participate in workshops, enroll in courses, and benefit from personalized coaching opportunities. Just visit www.bdi-create.today to become part of this vibrant community of beautiful creatives. Thank you for joining me on this episode of BDI Create Today. Remember, creativity is a daily journey, and every step you take, no matter how small, contributes to your growth. And it doesn't matter how fast you go, my friend, as long as you don't stop.